If you're a homeowner in Dufferin County or planning to become one, I'm going to be giving a detailed update on the latest real estate market trends from October 2023 for Orangeville and Shelburne, Ontario. I'm also going to dive into the county of Dufferin as a whole just to make sure I give you the full picture. Now make sure you stick around to the end of this video where I'm going to reveal some hidden opportunities whether you're thinking about buying or selling. So let's dive in by looking at what type of markets we're currently experiencing in the different areas of the county. So starting in Orangeville in October, we rose from 3.5 months of inventory to 4.5, pushing us from a seller's market right on the cusp of a balanced market. Now, this means that the supply of homes match the demand from current buyers. In Shelburne for October, we remained the same at 15 months of inventory, continuing in a very strong buyer's market. So for a buyer's market to occur, this means there are 6 months of inventory or more, meaning there are far more homes for sale than there are buyers actively looking in that area. So looking at the county as a whole, we rose from 5.5 to 7.5 months of inventory, which means that overall in the county, we shifted out of a balanced market and are now in a buyer's market. Now, to give you an idea, historically in Dufferin, we do tend to be in a balanced market during the late fall months, but it's really not surprising that with the current interest rates as high as they are, we have a lot of buyers waiting on the sidelines. So for average price, again, starting in Orangeville, the average price of the 22 homes sold is $816,291. Now, keeping in mind that this is for all types of homes, including condo apartments to detached freeholds. That average price is down 3% from last month, but when you look year over year, it's actually up 4%. So that's compared to October 2022. Now in Shelburne, the average price dropped 18% from last month to an average of $705,917. And this equals a 3% decrease year over year. It's also only based on 6 sales, which really, to be honest, isn't enough to give an accurate representation. Now, if we're looking a little more closely at the decreases seen in Orangeville and Shelburne, they appear to be because the majority of homes that did sell were smaller, lower priced homes to begin with, and there's really just an overall lack of sales of homes in the higher price brackets. Looking at Dufferin County as a whole, which now does include rural townships with larger estates, country homes, and farms, we actually saw an increase in the average price to $1,005,318, which is up 8% compared to September and up 4% year over year. So this shows us that buyers with higher budgets are out there. They're just wanting to make sure they get more bang for their buck and would rather spend $1 million plus to live outside the city in larger, more private properties or estate-style subdivisions. Moving along to list to sale price ratios, Orangeville was at 98% in October, meaning that on average, buyers were able to negotiate 2% off of the asking price. Now this is down 1% compared to last month, but up 1% year over year, indicating that prices are still pretty stable. Now, Dufferin County as a whole is currently sitting at 97%, a 1% decrease from September, but a 3% increase year over year. But it's important to remember here that these numbers can be drastically affected by different marketing strategies, pricing experiments, which is something that Shelburne has been experiencing for a long time, as a lot of agents try to find that sweet spot that buyers are looking for. So listing under market value would be one example in hopes of bringing more buyers and generating multiple offers, while pricing too high due to seller expectations or even agents from outside of the area can cause the averages to decrease. Days on market. In Orangeville, things are still moving relatively quickly, with 17 days on market being the average. This is trending up 13% from September, but down a whopping 48% from 2022. Meaning things are moving much more quickly than they were last year. Shelburne is sitting on average at 35 days on market, which is up 29% from September, but down 30% compared to 2022. Dufferin County overall remained pretty stable, going from 27 days in September to an average of 28 days for October, and only a 3% increase from last year. Now again, to be honest, these don't paint an accurate picture of the average sale. They're really being skewed by so many cancellation and relists. This means that every time a listing is canceled and relisted on MLS as new, whether it's for price reductions or the listing expires, it resets the days on market back to zero. Now, this is a strategy often used by agents in slower markets, making it really hard to pinpoint what the true average days on market is. So for interest rates, if you're thinking about buying real estate in the near future, mortgage rates are ranging between 4.39 to 6.7%, depending if you're going fixed or variable, and of course, whether you're getting financing through a bank or alternative lender. I've also recently been told that fixed rates are on the decline. So in summary, when you look at October's numbers, the increased interest rates still have buyers squeezing their wallets, whether that's because they're priced out of the market with increased stress tests, resulting in less purchasing power, which explains why the majority of sales are under $850,000. Or they're upsizing in the more stable conditions, but they really want to make sure they get the most from their budget. And with pricing between Orangeville and Shelburne being so similar, it kind of makes sense that sales will be slower in Shelburne. The increased inventory levels are due to sellers who are either trying to get ahead of increasingly unaffordable payments, or those who are recognizing that this is actually a really good time to upsize or downsize. So remember those hidden opportunities I mentioned. This is a great market for anyone who's been looking to buy but has a home to sell as well. With talks of rate decreases coming and fixed rates already on the decline, get into that new home before rates come back down, and finding that forever home comes with increased competition and higher price tags. So the bottom line is that regardless of whether you're buying or selling, every situation is unique, and an in-depth analysis should definitely be completed before you make any major decisions. If you want an accurate market analysis for your home, or you're thinking of buying and want to know where the best opportunities are, you can either request a free, no obligation market evaluation or book a call with me to have a no pressure conversation about your options. I'll always just give you an honest analysis so that you're informed to make the best decision that's right for you. If you feel that would be helpful, just click the link in the caption of this video and set it up. Otherwise, feel free to check out my other videos, and I will be back next month with an updated report.